utility, which we're not going to talk about in this class, but it's quite a fascinating thing. And they based their argument on an argument that Nash had given for games. And this whole thing is very related to Nash equilibrium. And I'm sure you've heard of Nash, and many of you have maybe seen the movie, A Beautiful Mind. Well, about 5 years ago, shortly, a couple years after the movie came out, Nash is still very much alive and ever so slight, not quite as wacky as he used to be. And so the Indian Game Theory Society opened. It was founded, believe it or not, just 5 years ago, despite all the brilliant Indian economists. The Game Theory Society was founded about 5 years ago, and they had an opening conference where 6 people gave talks, including Nash. So I was one of the people who gave a talk, and there were thousands of people who showed up, mostly because of the movie. And there was just thousands and thousands of people. So afterwards, we went on tour to, traveling to a bunch of different cities. And every city we went to, we'd get off the train or the limousine or something. There'd be a throng of people there waiting to meet Nash, and there'd always be a press conference. And after the press conference, there'd be a picture on the front page of whatever city, and these were all great cities, city we'd gone to, and always there was Nash, and everybody else was cropped out of the picture. But anyway, in one of these first conferences, I'm just illustrating Nash equilibrium here, some reporter says, "We've seen the movie, but can you really tell us in a word, what is Nash equilibrium, competitive equilibrium? What is that? Just say in a word, what does it mean? What does it mean for us?" And so each of us took a try at trying to explain what Nash equilibrium was, including Nash. They didn't go too well, the explanations, until they got to Aumann. So he was also one of the people who spoke, and he subsequently won the Nobel Prize. But anyway, at the time, he hadn't won it yet, and he's Israeli. He's also a great figure. And so Aumann says, that question reminds me, I can't do his Israeli accent, that question reminds me of the first press conference Khrushchev, who you might remember was premier of the Soviet Union. This was in the time of Kennedy and thumping the table in the Cold War and stuff. The first press conference Khrushchev gave to Western reporters. And somebody said, "Can you tell me in a word, describe in a word the health of the Russian economy?" And Khrushchev says, "Good." And then the reporter says, "I didn't really mean one word. Take 2 words and tell us, what is the health of the Russian economy?" And Khrushchev says, "Not good." So